Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. 4 years on The Young and the Restless, the balance of power between Adam Newman and Nick Newman has shifted like desert sand in a storm. 1 week, Nick is the grounded older brother trying to protect the family from Adam's chaos. The next, Adam is the dark horse clawing his way back into Victor Newman's good graces, determined to prove he belongs at the top of the Newman empire. But now, something far more interesting is happening. Adam is no longer just reacting to the moves around him. He is the one making the calls. And that changes everything. It changes the power structure inside Newman Enterprises. It changes Victor's expectations. It changes Chelsea's place in Adam's life. And perhaps most dramatically, it changes the emotional and strategic war between Adam and Nick. Because Nick has always known how to handle reckless Adam. He has always believed he understood damaged Adam. But decisive, strategic, emotionally controlled Adam? That is a very different threat. And frankly, it may be the most dangerous version of Adam Newman we've seen in years. This shift is not just another temporary storyline twist. It feels like a deliberate reset of the Newman brothers' dynamic, and it gives the show something it has desperately needed: genuine unpredictability. For a long time, Nick has operated as the emotional center of the Newman family drama. Even when he made mistakes, and he has made plenty, he was often framed as the reliable brother, the one with a moral compass, the son who could walk away from Victor and still somehow remain the family's conscience. Adam, meanwhile, has been trapped in a repetitive cycle. He schemes. He self-destructs. He hurts someone. He seeks redemption. He loses it. Repeat. That cycle made Adam compelling for a while, but eventually it became limiting. The audience stopped wondering what Adam would do next because the answer was usually the same: something messy, followed by guilt and another attempt to rebuild. But now, there is a noticeable difference. Adam is calm. Adam is calculating. Adam is no longer waiting for permission. And Nick can feel it. That matters because the Nick-Adam rivalry has always been fueled by emotional imbalance. Nick often approached Adam from a position of frustrated superiority. Even when Adam won, Nick believed he was morally above him. That confidence gave Nick a kind of emotional control in their relationship. Now that control is slipping. When Adam starts making decisions independently, real decisions, strategic decisions, Nick loses the comfort of predictability. He cannot simply dismiss Adam as the family problem anymore. He has to treat him like an equal player. Possibly even a stronger one. That is where things get truly fascinating. Because Nick does not handle powerlessness well. He likes clarity. He likes knowing where people stand. He likes believing he can protect the people he loves by staying one step ahead. But Adam stepping into leadership destroys that clarity. Suddenly, Nick is no longer the brother cleaning up the mess. He may be the one trying to catch up. And psychologically, that is a huge shift. There is something deeply ironic about it, too. 4 years, Adam wanted exactly this: respect, authority, legitimacy. He wanted Victor to trust him, the company to need him, and the family to stop seeing him as the outsider. Now that he is getting pieces of that, the people around him seem more uncomfortable than ever. Why? Because dysfunctional family systems depend on everyone staying in their assigned role. Nick was the stable one. Adam was the dangerous one. Victor was the king. Victoria was the heir. Once one person changes, the whole structure shakes. Adam stepping into power threatens everyone's emotional map of the family. Especially Nick's. There is also the Victor factor, which cannot be ignored. Victor Newman does not hand over control lightly. Ever. So if Adam is in a position where he is truly calling shots, it means one of two things. Either Victor trusts him more than people realize, or Adam has found a way to operate beyond Victor's direct control. Both options are explosive. If Victor trusts Adam, Nick will inevitably feel the sting of that. Nick has spent years trying to define himself outside of Victor's influence, but there is still a deep emotional wound there. Approval matters, even when he pretends it doesn't. Watching Adam receive that approval would reopen every old scar. And if Adam is moving independently, If he is making bold decisions without waiting for Victor's blessing, that may be even more threatening. Because it suggests Adam has finally learned the ultimate Newman lesson. Power belongs to the person willing to take it. Nick understands that lesson. He just has never fully embraced it. Adam has. That creates a moral and emotional tension that could drive story for months. Nick will want to believe Adam is going too far. Adam will believe Nick is too afraid to do what needs to be done. Neither will be entirely wrong. That is the best kind of soap conflict, the kind where both sides have valid emotional logic. It also raises important questions about Chelsea. Chelsea has seen every version of Adam: broken Adam, manipulative Adam, desperate Adam, romantic Adam, destructive Adam. But this version, focused, strategic, in control, may be the one that challenges her most, no longer spurling emotionally, who is making clear choices that can look like growth. But in soap opera terms, control can also be terrifying. Is Adam healing? Or is he simply becoming better at hiding the darkness? Chelsea may not know the answer, and honestly, neither does the audience. That ambiguity is good storytelling. It makes every interaction more layered. And then there is Sally, whose history with both brothers adds another layer of emotional landmines. No matter how much time passes, romantic history in Genoa City never really disappears. It lingers in every tense conversation, every accidental glance, every moment where trust is tested. If Adam is rising while Nick is losing ground, old emotional wounds will reopen fast. Nick's past choices with Sally already complicated his relationship with Adam in ways they never fully resolved. Add professional power shifts to that emotional history, and the tension becomes combustible. Because sibling rivalry is never just about business. It is about validation. It is about who gets chosen, who gets trusted, who gets forgiven, who gets loved. Adam making the calls threatens Nick on all of those levels. That is why this storyline feels bigger than corporate drama. It is identity drama. Who is Adam if he is no longer the family screw-up? Who is Nick if he is no longer the dependable protector? Sometimes the most powerful storylines are not about who wins the company. They are about who survives the emotional rewrite. And right now, both brothers are being rewritten. There is also a meta reason this works so well. Audiences have seen Nick in the authority position before. We know how he handles control. We know his strengths and weaknesses. But Adam with sustained authority feels fresher. It creates new story possibilities. Can he lead without self-sabotage? Can he hold power without becoming victor? Can he earn trust without manipulating people into giving it? Those are compelling questions because they are not easy to answer. The show becomes stronger when characters are allowed to evolve instead of endlessly repeating old mistakes. Adam taking control suggests evolution. Nick struggling with that suggests consequence. That is drama. And honestly, it is overdue. There is a temptation in long-running soaps to preserve familiar dynamics forever because they feel safe. But safe is often the enemy of compelling television. Characters need disruption. Relationships need redefinition. Power needs to move. Adam becoming the decision-maker forces all of that. It forces Nick to confront his assumptions. It forces Victor to reveal his true priorities. It forces the audience to reconsider who Adam really is now. That uncertainty is valuable. Because for the first time in a while, the question is not, how will Adam mess this up? It is, what happens if he doesn't? What happens if Adam succeeds? What happens if he becomes the son Victor relies on most? What happens if Nick realizes too late that the brother he underestimated has already changed the game? That possibility is far more interesting than another redemption spiral. It makes Adam proactive instead of reactive. It makes Nick vulnerable in a new way. And it transforms their rivalry from old resentment into present danger. There is also something emotionally honest about it. Families do not stay frozen. The sibling who was once unstable may become the strongest one. The sibling who was once dependable may become uncertain. Roles change. Power shifts. Old narratives collapse. That truth gives the story resonance beyond soap opera spectacle. Anyone with complicated family relationships understands how unsettling it is when someone changes and forces everyone else to adjust. That is what Adam is doing. He is forcing adjustment. And Nick, perhaps more than anyone, is struggling with it. Because if Adam is no longer the version of Adam Nick has spent years fighting, then Nick has to ask himself a much harder question. Who have I been all this time? That is the kind of emotional tension soaps should chase. Not just shock. Not just betrayal. Identity. History. Power. Love tangled up with resentment. That is what makes the Newman family work when it is written at its best. And right now, Adam standing in the center of that storm feels exactly right. He is not begging for a seat at the table anymore. He is pulling out the chair himself. And Nick has to decide whether he is going to fight that, or finally accept that the rules have changed. Either way, the old balance is gone. Adam is making the calls now. And for Nick, that changes everything.